Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. This is Absol. He really wanted to hang out by my filming desk on my lap, all that good stuff while I was getting ready today. So he gets to say hi. Say hello. Show them your little bow tie. Very cute. He's such a good boy. You gonna stay on my lap? Okay. In today's video, I did a first impressions with the Alter Ego Canyon palette. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. They also just released at the same time the Blooms palette, which is a dupe for the Love palette from Natasha Denona. I did already do a first impressions on that, so go check that out if you missed it. They also did launch a new 12-piece brush collection, which I did use brushes in both this video and that video. I will have all the links to all these products down below if you feel like checking anything out. I do have an affiliate code with Alter Ego as well, by the way. My code BEAUTBEAN will save you 10%. I will make a small commission if you use it, and I appreciate it very much, but no pressure. It's just there if you want it. Alter Ego, thank you so much for sending me all these products to try out. I'm super excited. I love Alter Ego's formula. I think they do such a good job. I'm always very excited about their palettes. I've mentioned it before 100 times, but they're always my go-to travel palettes. Not that we're traveling anytime soon, but I don't know, they just make easy, good travel palettes. I don't know what to say. But yeah, this is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, the Canyon palette. Bronze shadows in general aren't my personal favorite as far as neutrals go. They're just, I don't know, not my favorite. I don't hate them by any means, but they're just not my go-to. But I was still excited about this palette, especially when I got it in person. A lot of these shimmers look just very special, very dimensional. I really like how this look came out in particular. I think a lot of people will be really excited about this palette because I know a lot of people are really into these colors. And so far I'm very pleased with how everything performed. We have a mix of mattes, shimmers, and we do have one cream matte in this palette, like some of the other palettes from Alter Ego. The Love and Artemis palettes from Alter Ego also have that kind of creamy matte formula. It's not my personal favorite formula just because it does take time to build up and I'm impatient and I just want pigmentation right off the bat, but they are very easy to work with. They're very buildable, very beginner friendly. I do plan on at some point doing an Instagram video. I don't think I'm gonna do a 2 looks one palette with this palette in particular just because it's not the most exciting palette to me personally and I'd rather spend my time doing other videos for you, but I will do an Instagram video. Stay tuned for that. As usual, this first impression is not a review. It's just a first impression. It's my first and only time using this palette. However, I am familiar with Alter Ego's formula, so I'll give you my thoughts thus far at the end, but just stay tuned. I will be doing that Instagram video like I mentioned, and this palette will be included in my new makeup releases roundup review video early in February. I guess before we hop into it, let me give you my details. This necklace and bracelet are from Ana Luisa. This wig is a Chrisma brand wig. Check my FAQ in the description box if you need spelling, and I don't know where this beanie's from because it's old. It might be a Forever 21. I'm not positive. Anyways, with all that being said, I guess let's just hop in, create this look. I really like how it came out. I think it came out really pretty. And at the end of the video, I'll give you my thoughts thus far on everything. All right, hello, how's it going? Let's create a look. I'm getting ready for work. It's Thursday the 21st. I'm excited. As a general rule, bronzy tones aren't my favorite, but there are some really pretty, interesting shimmers in here. So we're probably gonna play with a lot of the chocolatey browns and some of these interesting shimmers. I'm very excited for it. I think it's gonna be cool. We're gonna go ahead and prime with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I'm not gonna set it because that's not my preference. You go ahead and do whatever works for you. I'm gonna use this Alter Ego number 7 brush. It's kind of like a fluffy tapered blending brush. I used most of the new brushes in my Love palette first impression, so if you wanna see more of the brushes in action, go check that out, but I will still use some of them in this video. The ones that aren't completely dirty. I'm gonna use this and kind of just start fluffing this a little bit through the crease, kind of my outer corner. I'm just using the shape of this brush to kind of pack it down in my outer corner, and then I'll slowly kind of drag it. I think we are gonna do another half cut creasy shape. I know, but it's just my go-to for first impressions especially. I feel like this particular eye placement just allows me to use so many shadows and it's always so fun. And it's a placement that never fails me, so it's a good way for me to kind of test out the shadows in a way that I already know I like the placement so I can really judge the shadows themselves. I hope you're doing well. I'm in a pretty good mood. I was gonna go on a run this morning, but it was a little too chilly and foggy outside, so I'm gonna do it this evening instead. Excited to go to work. I feel like I'm always excited to go to work. I love my job. The salon makes me happy. I feel like that's a good starting point. So now I want to take Earth. It's a little bit more mustardy, so obviously I love that. I'm gonna use this Alter Ego number 5 brush. It's just a fluffy brush. I'm gonna use that just to start blending this shade out some more so it can be nice and blown out and dimensional. What kind of neutrals do you guys prefer? I'm definitely a cool tone person when it comes to neutrals, like give me grays, taupes, things like that. I'm down for true neutrals sometimes. Warm neutrals aren't my favorite. I think it's just because like 2016, 2017 YouTube just like burned me out on it because that's all everybody did was warm neutrals. I don't think they're ugly, they're just not my favorite on me. I'd love to know what you prefer though, provided you use neutrals. Obviously I'm not the biggest neutral person, I play with color more than anything, but sometimes I'm down for some neutrals. I want to take Russet now, this chocolatey warm brown color. I'm going to use that on this Luxie 121 brush. It's just kind of like a small blending brush, and I want to focus this in the outer corner. And I'll work on bringing this through the rest of my crease as well, just keeping it nice and low and tight. Just trying to bring lots of dimension and depth to my crease work before we go in with our lid shades. And obviously I'm also just trying to use a bunch of the shadows. Just tucking it underneath that lower lash. I'm gonna keep this focused more so in the outer third though. I do want a little bit of a winged out shape. I'm gonna take my first brush now that I used with Mule, that first shadow. I don't have any additional product on this though. This is that like tapered fluffy brush. I'm just kind of going to town on these edges just to make sure it's all nice and seamless. Everything's blending really easy. Like I'm barely having to put any effort in and everything's just working out. All right, let's go in with our darkest shade, Expanse. This is a cream matte shadow. I think that's the only cream matte shadow in this whole palette. I wish that the darkest shade wasn't that. We had that in the Love palette as well. I don't know. I just wish that it was a regular matte. Only because the cream matte formula, it has to be built up to show off as impactful as it can because they're a little sheer upon initial application, but they're really easy to work with. It's easy not to overdo it. So, I mean, there's a plus there. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think the cream matte formula is really good for beginners. The Artemis palette is full of them. I don't want Alter Ego to get in the habit of always making the darkest shades these because I want the regular. I'm just kind of popping this really tight and close, kind of following that same shape I've been doing, outer corner, a little through the crease, that kind of motion. Gonna take a little bit more Russet, that darker chocolatey brown on that Luxie brush, just a teeny bit, and I'm holding the end of my brush so I have very light pressure. And I'm just gonna start blending away at these edges. Help keep everything nice and soft. Kind of, sort of, something like that. This is blending out and performing really nicely. I'm gonna take a little bit more Mule, that first shade we used, on that first Alter Ego brush, the number 7. And again, holding the very end of my brush, I have very light pressure. And I'm just very lightly going to town on these edges again. I feel like my best tip for very smoky looks is using lots of shades, building up that dimension, using lots of patience. Now I'm taking a little bit more earth, that lightest shade on that Alter Ego number 5 brush, and just doing the same thing. But I feel like the more shades and patience you have and just kind of going back and forth building up things, it just creates a very dimensional, blended kind of situation. All right, so now let's do some cut creasy stuff. I want to cut it with Plateau. That is like such a beautiful shimmer. I can't get enough. And I want to have it fade down into Desert Mood because that's also so beautiful. I can't take it. I have this flat spectrum brush. It's an A16. And of course, I'm going to use my NYX Glitter Primer. I use it with every shimmer ever. It helps me be precise and it also helps the shimmers pop to their fullest potential. So I'm just going to rub some of this across my lid. I'm kind of following my eyeball shape slightly above my natural crease and just kind of going back and forth, and I'm stopping it where things are really deepening up in the outer corner. And now using the exact same brush, I'm going to take Plateau, and this is going to be our first shade. I'm so excited about this color. Oh yes, it's so pretty. I'm gonna put a little bit extra in the front third of my eye, and I'm gonna have it taper upwards because I like my shimmers to be at a diagonal. That is such a beautiful shimmer. I can't take it. Wow. All right, I'm gonna flip that brush over now to the clean side and take Desert Moon because there's no sense in dirtying another brush. Ooh, that's pretty. I had a feeling this would be really pretty, fading into our outer corner crease work. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, I love that. I'm gonna take a little bit more Plateau now and just kind of drag it into that merge where those two shimmers are meeting so they can all just flow together nicely. I just want it to be a seamless flow of the two shimmers. Ooh, I love that. That's so pretty. I'm gonna take that Luxie brush I used with the chocolatey brown matte. I have no product on this, and I'm just lightly smushing right where the mattes and shimmers are meeting so it can all just flow nicely. Ooh, I love that. I think I want to pop yet another shimmer on the lower lash line. I think I want to take Blaze and just pop that down low. This is an Alter Ego number 7 brush. This is part of their first brush collection. I don't know if this collection is still available, but still like these brushes either way. Ooh, that's pretty. It's kind of like a rusty rosy color. That looks really cute on the lower lash line actually. Just gonna do a quick little sweep with my biggest blending brush. Ooh, all right, inner corner time. Let's take Cougar. That one looks good. I think that'll be a nice inner corner shade. We shall see. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's not a perfect highlight on my pale skin, but it's still like a cute little pop for that inner corner. I really like this. It's very like not colors I typically play with, but I do think it's really pretty and it all performed really easily. I guess I'm going to repeat this on the other eye, throw on my lashes, eye pencil, and lips, and I'll be back when I'm complete. This is my look complete. I think it came out really pretty. Like, I know bronzy tones aren't really my thing, and I kind of tried to not go crazy bronzy with this look, so there's that, but I think it came out really pretty. I feel very just kind of glamorous. I feel like I should be doing something, I don't know, fancy today. That doesn't make any sense. I just feel really pretty, very just like, kind of fancy. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's cute. I think it came out really good. I'm content. The eye pencil I paired with this is Marigold from the Colourpop Raw Beauty Kristi collab. There isn't really yellow in my look. I was mostly doing this as a pop of color to go with my beanie, but I also still think yellow is always cute in pretty much any situation, so that's why I chose this. My lashes are the Style Heather from Noella Lashes, and on my lips I have a little lip combo. I have the Field Day lip pencil from Colourpop, and then one of the new Odin's Eye lipsticks. This is one of the velvet lipsticks in Light Peach. I've had these sitting in my possession for a little over a week now, and I've been dying to use one on camera, but I had to wait until they officially like did their reveal and whatnot, so I'm happy to finally wear one. Such a pretty color, such a comfortable formula. The velvet ones are a little bit more of like a matte formula, but it's really comfortable, like it doesn't feel drying. And then the other formula, which I can't remember the name offhand, is more of like a creamy, emollient kind of formula. Overall, I really like this look. I think it came out really pretty. I guess let me zoom you out and I will give you my thoughts on the palette thus far. All right, welcome back. How was the tutorial? Did you enjoy it? I really like how this look came out. I'm excited to wear it all day at work. All right, let's chat about the palette, shall we? Obviously, I've already mentioned a couple times that bronzes aren't like my favorite, so it's not the most inspiring color story for me personally, but I'm gonna take that mindset out of my thoughts and try to be not biased towards the color story. And I don't think it's an ugly color story, it just doesn't make my heart skip all the beats. But regardless of that, we're just gonna break down what I used. Let's see, we used 3 of the regular mattes. There's 2 mattes that I didn't use. They all performed fine. I feel like they all blended really easily, very effortlessly, very similar to how other Alter Ego shadows have performed for me. I really don't have any issues with their shadows. I think they blend like a dream, and these were no exception. I imagine these 2 light toned ones will also blend very effortlessly, especially because they are so pale. The one creamy matte shadow, it's again not my favorite, especially that it's the darkest shade, because like I wish there could be more depth, more pigmentation with it, but I guess that's my only real gripe. I wish that was a regular matte. I don't hate the cream matte formula, but I would just prefer mattes and shimmers because I think Alter Ego does such a good job with their regular matte formula. I don't think we need both, but I do see why they would do that, having a mix of textures. It's very trendy right now, and I do think a lot of people will get down with the cream matte finish. I just wish it wasn't the darkest shade. We used, I guess, these 4 shimmers today. There's like 5 other shimmers I didn't even touch. The ones that I used are all so pretty. I feel like they're very dimensional, very sparkly. I love Alter Ego shimmer formulas. It's so beautiful. Alter Ego shimmers are definitely where they shine, in my opinion. They're just so insanely bright. I love them. I feel like they always manage to have really interesting shimmers in their palettes, which I personally really appreciate. Overall, I don't have any major complaints other than just I wish the darkest shade wasn't that creamy texture, but other than that, so far so good. I don't really have any major gripes. I'd love to know your thoughts. Did you pick this palette up? Are you interested in this one? I know a lot of you guys were super excited about the Blooms palette, so I'd love to know how you feel about this one. Are you in my boat where bronzes don't completely excite you, or are you like super thrilled by this? I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you have the bronze palette from Natasha Denona? I would love to hear that as well. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me an emoji relating to nature since it is like the canyon palette. Let's just go with a nature themed emoji today. And if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's BEAUTBEAN. Follow me there. I post every single day. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting most days here as well. Please make sure you're staying informed with everything that's going on in the world. There will be links in my description box that will take you to information and resources and ways in which you can help. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.